Các Linh xin kính chào quý vị. Thưa quý vị, ngày hôm nay chúng tôi có buổi nói chuyện với một nữ phóng viên gốc Việt của đài truyền hình CNBC. Vào tháng 3 vừa qua, cô bị nhiễm COVID-19 nhưng mà đã chiến thắng với cơn bạo bệnh, và ngày hôm nay cô đồng ý kể lại câu chuyện của mình cũng như là những khó khăn mà cô và gia đình mình đã phải trải qua sau 3 tuần chống lại coronavirus. Thưa quý vị, nữ ký giả Ylan Mui tốt nghiệp chuyên ngành truyền thông với 2 chuyên ngành phụ là triết học và sinh vật học tại Đại học Loyola ở New York, và cô có 15 năm làm thỉnh giảng ngành báo chí tại Đại học Maryland ở Virginia. Sau 15 năm làm phóng viên chuyên về giáo dục và tài chánh cho nhật báo The Washington Post, ký giả Ylan Mui chuyển sang lĩnh vực truyền hình và cô cộng tác với đài CNBC. Và thưa quý vị, có một chi tiết rất là đặc biệt về nữ ký giả Ylan Mui mà chúng tôi không thể không nhắc đến ở đây. Đó là cô chính là cháu ngoại của nhạc sĩ Đan Thọ, tác giả của bài hát rất nổi tiếng là bài Triệu Tím. Và một ca khúc thứ hai của ông cũng rất phổ biến, rất nổi tiếng, đó là bài Dương Cầm, mà trong đó hình ảnh của Ylan Mui khi mà cô còn nhỏ cho Dương Cầm chính là một cái cảm hứng để nhạc sĩ Đan Thọ viết lên ca khúc Dương Cầm. Alright, thank you chị Ylan, and thank you for accepting my interview today. And I have to say congratulations for your winning the battle against the COVID-19. So the first question is, could you please tell us how and when did it happen to you?
I first started feeling sick on March 14th, so over a month ago. And at first, I didn't think that it was the virus. At first, I thought that maybe I was just achy from exercising. But as the day went on, I realized that I didn't feel right. And this was just as all of the schools were starting to shut down, just as the country was going under lockdown. So we were all still trying to figure out and understand what to do and how to treat it, how to get tested, how to diagnose it. So I started feeling bad on a Saturday. And by Monday, I went in to see my doctor and they tested me for flu and it was negative. So they sent me home with some Tamiflu and said, you know, just take it easy, stay isolated, play it safe, but we're not going to give you a test. And it wasn't until I developed a cough a few days later that they said, all right, I think that it's worth testing you. And sure enough, the test came back positive.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So when you received the positive result with the COVID-19, so what was the first thing ever came into your mind? For example, who did you think about at that time?
Well, part of the problem was that I took the test, but I didn't get the results for a week. So there was another week that I spent not knowing why I was sick. I assumed it was the virus, but I wasn't sure. So when we finally got the test results, that was almost 2 weeks after I first felt sick is when I found out that I was positive. It was almost a little bit of a relief because now I had certainty. Now I knew, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. These are some of the precautions I should be taking. At least I knew what was wrong, and that I wasn't being dramatic, you know, that I really was very sick. And so was my husband, and so were my kids. They got some symptoms of the disease as well. So it was almost a relief to know what we were dealing with, but certainly it was also scary to think about what comes next.
Yeah. So how was the life during the time you and your husband had to fight with coronavirus? How was it?
It was hard. I could barely get out of bed. It was the sickest I've been as an adult. You know, I have small children, so I get sick a lot. They carry a lot of germs.
Yeah.
But by far, I have not been this sick as as a grown-up. So it was very difficult. In addition, because we have 3 small children, isolating from the family was not really an option. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. I can't stay away from them in the house. So we were all kind of together. And as I said, this is right when the schools were starting to close and everything was shutting down. So we were trying to take care of ourselves, but also take care of the kids and also try to teach them, homeschool them at the same time. So it was a lot, and it was just kind of a fog. It was really just a haze, and we just tried to make do as best as we could. But there were days when I couldn't even get out of bed.
At that time, like you just say, you have to take care of the kids, you have to teach them. So how about the social distancing? How you did that?
Yeah, we didn't leave the house. We stayed inside. The kids might have played in the driveway a little bit, but we have a backyard, so that helps to let the kids get their energy out in the front yard too. But we just made do here. We didn't get groceries. We were very lucky to have neighbors and friends who went to the grocery store for us.
Yeah.
We had also stockpiled food before as the disease was starting to make its way to the U.S. We filled our freezer with food. So we made sure that we had the things we needed inside the home so we wouldn't have to leave. So 3 weeks after I got sick, I got a letter from the county that said, okay, you're good to go. Yeah. And that was really just based on the fact that I did not have a fever anymore and that I wasn't coughing anymore. But it was just someone calling me over the phone, asking me about my symptoms. I didn't go back in and get checked again. I didn't get another test to make sure that I was negative. They just said, how you feeling? I said, okay. And they said, all right, here's your letter that you're better. So there's not a whole lot of certainty now about, do we have antibodies? What level of antibodies would grant us immunity? My husband and my kids still never got tested, even for the disease, or to make sure that they're better now. So there's still a lot of questions because we haven't been able to get the tests that we need.
What is the most difficult thing for you during those times?
At that time, it was really trying to make sure that the kids were okay. So they, had enough food. Clearly they had enough water and they had those basic things. But, my kids would be worried because they'd say, why is mommy laying in bed? Why can't
they didn't
mommy
know, right? They didn't
We
know.
tried to explain it to them. They know there's a reason why they're not in school. They know that there's a virus that's hurting people, but they're young, they only understand so much. And it's hard for them to comprehend what we're all dealing with. And so that was the hardest thing, is making sure that they were mentally and emotionally okay.
It's very, very easy to confuse between flu and coronavirus. Like you just were there before. So is there any idea for them if they are in the same situation?
Yeah, I would say that the most important thing is to beware of shortness of breath. That is one of the key symptoms that sends people to the hospital, it appears. But beware of shortness of breath, beware of any, there's new stories that I'm reading about people who have really bad headaches and they start slurring their words and it turns out they're having strokes related to this. So those are 2 things that I would really watch for in order to call a doctor. This disease does take all sorts of, have all sorts of manifestations. I know a colleague of mine who has the virus and has never had a fever. My husband didn't develop a cough, but he had a lot of congestion. So there's a lot that we don't know, but shortness of breath, slurring of words, bad headache, those are things that I would definitely call my doctor about.
Thank you for sharing your story. And this is the question actually beside the story of COVID-19. You are a professional reporter focusing on economic and regulatory policy. What could you say about the current situation of economy of America, or right after the country opening?
Right now, the economy looks like it's in pretty bad shape. I just heard on our network, one of the White House's top economic advisors say that the economic growth could fall by 20 or 30% during this quarter. That would be depression levels.
Yeah.
There's estimates that as many as 1 in 4 Americans are out of work right now. So the economy is in really, really bad shape. And that's why, as I said, I felt so fortunate that we had the time and the space to get better because so many people don't. So things are pretty grim out there. How soon things get better will depend on how soon we can reopen safely. There's a lot of estimates for how that will look and how that will happen.
Yeah.
But it could take months before we are even close to back to normal, much less close to the strong economy that we had when this virus hit.
Thank you very much for your time, and again, congratulations for you and your family winning the battle against COVID-19.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Take care and be safe.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, chị. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you and
Okay,
take
bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.